All right, let's see. I'd like to call to order the, what's today's date? January 22nd, Long Hill Township Committee meeting. Of all rise to the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk.
In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act of New Jersey, adequate notice of this meeting, specifically the time, date, and public call-in information were included in the meeting that was electronically sent to the Active Sentinel Morris Daily Record and posted on the Township website. The agenda and public handouts can be viewed online at www.longhillnj.gov. A public comment period will be held in the order it is listed on the meeting agenda. Committeeman Committeeman Lavender?
Yes.
Committeewoman Riker Align?
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Lavender? Sorry, new
Oh,
meeting.
you're off today.
Yeah.
Deputy Mayor Paserchia?
Yes.
Mayor Dorsey?
Here. Thank you. So we have a bunch of proclamations, a lot of people, which is great to see. Nice to see the entire department here to celebrate their new employees. So at this time, I'd like to turn the meeting over to Director Peoples. We have two things going on with the police department. We have a proclamation, which they'll address first, and then second, we'll deal with two new officers. So, Director Peoples, come on up.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, members of the Township Committee, and also to the publics and the members of the Long Hill Township Police Department. First up tonight, I'd like to introduce Mr. Harry Delgado. He's the Executive Director of the New Jersey State Chiefs Association of Police Accreditation Commission. As the Township Committee is aware, back in June, the police department received their accreditation status. We had lost the status for a period of time. When I came on board in March, then Mayor Paserchia and Deputy Mayor Lavender at the time, that was one of our initial aggressive goals. So we put our team together. This was a team effort. Officer in charge, Chambrello, Lieutenant Chambrello, we had Sergeant Sagalski, all the officers here had to do their part. So within 70 days of starting our project, we had our on-site assessment and then subsequently our hearing. So I'd like to introduce Mr. Delgado, and he'll say a few words to the community, police department, and the public.
Thank you. May I just put this in here? Well, it is indeed my honor here tonight, representing the State Association of Chiefs of Police, to recognize the police department again for becoming accredited. Director Peoples is absolutely correct. Once he decided to do this, we moved pretty fast to make sure that it would happen. I come to recognize the fact that you decided again to be accredited, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that your department had in fact been accredited before, and Director Peoples actually completed that task. So if you indulge me for a couple of minutes, I'd like to share with you the significance of the achievement. So the Long Hill Township Police Department has once again made a commitment to adhering to best practices at the state and national level in a highly regarded statewide law enforcement accreditation program. This evening, they are recognized for achieving literally, technically, their reaccreditation, if you will. The program, administered to the New Jersey State Association of Chiefs of Police and the New Jersey Law Enforcement Accreditation Commission, has helped to transparently demonstrate the professionalism and transparency and the preparedness of the state's law enforcement agencies in the state's public safety system. During these uniquely challenging times and the threat to our health and safety, encouraging law enforcement agencies such as Long Hill Township Police Department to follow standardized practices and policies is potentially life-saving and cost-effective investment of time and resources, and accreditation gives an agency a preparedness plan and verification of excellence. Now, accreditation status represents a significant professional achievement and an agency's continued expectations for quality, professional, and ethical policing. Now, the Long Hill Police Department, having achieved this reaccreditation, has actually become part of a very elite group of law enforcement agencies. I like to say that when we consider that this is the third time that they've actually achieved their accreditation, The percentage of agencies that show this commitment and longevity in our program is less than 12%. And I'm not saying that many people don't try it. It's the fact that it's a very rigorous process, and it's just not a one-time, shot, as we say. So for that, I'd like to remind you that accreditation is a process. It is the foundation lies in the adoption of standards containing a clear statement of professional objectives from the state of New Jersey, over 112 standards. It is a progressive and time-proven way of helping law enforcement agencies calculate and improve their overall performance. It is a certification by an independent authority, in this case the New Jersey State Association of Chiefs of Police, that the accredited agency was carefully measured against an established set of state and national standards. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say again that in the case of the Long Hill Township Police Department, in many instances exceeded those state and national standards. When we come here at the end of the process and we do an on-site, as we call it, and face-to-face on-site assessment, typically we find issues that we are able to resolve during that time. In the case of the Long Hill Township Police Department, we didn't find any, though we tried. Accreditation provides objective evidence of an agency's commitment to excellence in leadership, resource management, and service delivery. Government officials can be more confident in the agency's ability to operate efficiently and meet community needs. And officers, as I see many here tonight, in accredited agencies can take pride that they have been objectively recognized for their professionalism and adherence to the high standards. I feel compelled to remind the public that, and I understand you belong to a JIF, that when an agency achieves accreditation, they stand to receive substantial discounts in terms of their overall policy coverage. So that's for the public in the what's in it for me. Now, in closing, I'd like to paraphrase some of what I read in the report that comes to me after the on-site assessment, and then I send with a recommendation to the commission, as it happened with the Long Hill Township Police Department. Under the leadership of Director Peoples, a high level of competence, leadership, and professionalism is evident within the agency. It is the opinion of the assessment team that the Long Hill Township Police Department is a highly professional and committed agency which exemplifies all of the tenets of law enforcement accreditation at the state and national level. Therefore, again, I say it is indeed my honor here tonight, on behalf of the New Jersey State Association of Chiefs of Police and the New Jersey Law Enforcement Commission, to congratulate Public Safety Director Michael Peoples, Officer in Charge Alexis Ciambrello, the Accreditation Manager Sergeant Melissa Sugalski, the members of the Long Hill Township Police Department, the Mayor, the Council, and those citizens that they so proudly serve for having achieved their third really accreditation, joining a very, very exclusive group of law enforcement agencies that have made this important commitment to excellence in policing. So to all, indeed, congratulations. This is where you get the clap for your police department.
You guys want all like a picture with everybody?
Sure. Come on up, everybody.
That'd be cute.
Oh, for the Board of Health.
You should get it. It's like, Megan, do you want me to take one? Like, do you need help?
If you want to take Rich's camera.
You're gonna trust me now?
Go. What?
No, you stay there. The Board of Health. Oh, we're doing the Board of Health after they do the new officers. So you're going to be eventually.
You gave me a little. I gotta find my thing. Where's my
Yeah,
Just like notes on you.
papers here?
She puts the script on your copy.
Where's Gary? Hold on.
Is that here?
Stuff in red is probably your script.
Yep.
Formation there. Mr. Delgado, thank you for coming. You were instrumental when we were unaccredited in helping us get everything back on track. We appreciate the time you took with the committee and the township before we got reaccredited. So thank you for coming down.
Thank you.
Director Peoples, I know you have some other announcements you'd like to make that are also equally exciting. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight, we have the pleasure of swearing in two replacement officers for the Long Hill Township Police Department. I'd like to introduce the new officers to you, the committee, our police department, as well as the public. I'm going to first start with Mr. Akran. Jack currently serves for another couple of weeks as a Wharton Borough police officer. He's been with Wharton Borough for about 3 years. Prior to that, he served in the New Jersey Parole Board as a parole officer. He's a proud United States Army veteran. He's a graduate of West Virginia University with a Bachelor of Arts degree in criminology. We are very fortunate to have recruited such a highly qualified candidate as Jack. Our selection process was very in-depth, intense. We reviewed a lot. We were fortunate to receive a lot of applications. So I'm pleased to introduce Officer Jack Rand to the family of Long Hill Township.
Okay. All right, so I make a motion to approve resolution 25-42, appointing police officer Jack Rand.
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Committeeman Lavender,
Yes.
Committeewoman Riker Aline,
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Paserchia,
Yes.
Mayor Dorsey.
Yes. So now we'll administer, Clerk Phillips will administer the oath to you, Jack. And bring your family up, please.
You're gonna have somebody hold the Bible. And you can have somebody hold the mic too. You can put everyone to work.
Someone hold that.
So you gotta get a little closer so we can hear. Okay. And then raise your right hand. Okay. I state your name.
I, Jack Rand,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States,
and in this state,
And in
county,
this state,
and township,
county, and township,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of a police officer
of the office of police officer
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Isn't he gonna come up and give a little handshake? We gotta invite him up.
Well, he has to sign, so.
Let's invite him up.
Thank you.
While Jack is signing his oath, I was remiss to say we got a bonus with Jack, too. He's a long-serving member of the Denville Fire Department. He's a certified firefighter, and he's also a certified emergency medical technician. So, as you know, our police department's first responders to all EMS calls, so his experience is going to really benefit the township.
No. It's very brief. Yeah. What? You're signing.
Okay, our next new police officer I'd like to introduce. Ryan, I pronounced spelling your last name, or pronunciation of your last name, Octuni, right? No! Rich, where are you? Okay, he knows it better than I do. Come on up, Ryan. I'll get that done. I'll get that done sooner or later. Okay. Ryan currently serves as a Class 2 Special Officer in Fairhaven Police Department. He's a fully certified Class 2 police officer, so he went through the academy with the regular recruits. He started his career as a Class 1 Special Officer in Fairhaven, then he was a Rumson police dispatcher for a while. He graduated William Patterson University. He was William Patterson was a D3 school, right? He's a competitive swimmer in at college. That may come in handy. We have the Passaic River, and we have the Sterling Lake if we have to initiate any rescues. So again, very fortunate to be able to recruit a candidate like Ryan. We think he's going to be an excellent addition to our Long Hill community and our Long Hill Police Department family. So if we may proceed with the resolution and the swearing in.
Thank you, Director. I'd like to move Resolution 25-43, appointing probation officer Ryan Attituni.
So moved.
So moved.
There's gonna be a
Second.
test.
Madam Clerk.
Committeeman Veleza,
Yes.
Committeewoman Riker Align,
Yes.
Committeeman Lavender,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Paserchian.
Yes.
Mayor Person.
Yes. Madam Clerk. Bring him up.
I, Ryan Achituni, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state, county, and township, under the authority of the people, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the office of police officer according to the best of my ability. So help me God.
Congratulations.
Megan takes over the meeting.
But I didn't call for nominations. Hi, Nick. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Just one more thing about Ryan that I was remiss for. I believe we have a couple members of the Township Committee that are involved with Boy Scouts. Ryan is also an Eagle Scout, so I think that goes to demonstrate his, commitment to focus on a particular goal. Welcome aboard, Ryan.
Thank you, Director Peoples.
Thank you, Mayor.
Ryan and Jack, good luck, and take a look behind you at all these great men and women we have. It is very rare. I think every member of the department's here tonight, plus the civilian employees. So you guys brought out a good crowd. Get to know these people. They're a great group to work with. We look forward to seeing you on the road soon. Congratulations. And PBA members, thank you for showing up in force. It means a lot to us, to the township, and your new employees. So good job showing up for them. Thank you. Yes, and now we'll take a brief recess from our regular scheduled programming to direct to the Board of Health for 2025, where Madam Clerk will take over the meeting.
So who made the motion?
Nobody. Randy did, but he doesn't count.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I will now call to order the Township of Long Hill Board of Health 2025 reorganization meeting.
Give it like
Okay.
so that people can read.
I was calling it to order at 7:58. Give me the time.
It gives you more time to beat the 5 minutes.
There's a wreck on the, Mary Thomas Award.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see.
Mustache.
So they want alternative to getting old.
That's right. That's what I would say.
30 years. In 30 years, they would be retired in their career, I believe. I think it's 25 years they would be retired. And they make it very much.
What, the police?
Yes. Earlier. One time it was 20. I think they made it 25.
That's nice.
Okay, so now that we've called the meeting to order, this year we'll be reappointing Tax Assessor Glenn Sherman, Deputy Mayor Pasurchia, and Committeewoman Riker Eline to the Long Hill Township Board of Ed. So I'm
Health.
going to...
Health.
You're really losing it tonight.
Health.
Board of Health.
Board of Ed.
Board of Ed.
Losing it.
Keep it. She was checking if you were paying attention. Clearly you were. Keep it moving, Megan.
Everyone is
You're
awake
doing
tonight.
great.
It's great.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Watch it, committee woman, Pasurchia.
Okay, so I'm going to
Right.
pose the oath of office as a question, so the people that I named for the Board of Health can say, "I do" at the end.
Thank you.
Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of New Jersey, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and to the governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people, and that you will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the office of the Long Hill Township Board of Health according to the best of your abilities, and that you will not use your office to grant preferential treatment nor seek personal gain, favor, or advantage not available to the general public, so help you God?
I do.
I do.
I do.
Perfect. So now that we've taken care of the oaths, I'll call the roll. Assessor Sherman?
Present.
Dr. Redling?
Yes.
Committeeman Lavender?
Yes.
Committeewoman Riker Eline?
Present, yes.
Committeeman Verleza?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Pasurchia?
Present.
And Mayor Dorsey?
Here.
Next, we'll do the nominations for the president of the Township of Long Hill Board of Health for 2025.
I nominate Committee Woman Riker Eline.
Is
Second.
there a second?
Second.
Assessor Sherman?
Yes.
Dr. Redling?
Yes.
Committeeman Lavender?
Yes.
Committeewoman Riker Eline?
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Pasurchia?
Yes.
Mayor Dorsey?
Yes.
Can I have a motion to close nominations?
So moved.
Second.
Assessor Sherman?
Yes.
Dr. Redling?
Yes.
Committeeman Lavender?
Yes.
Committeewoman Riker Eline?
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Pasurchia?
Yes.
Mayor Dorsey?
Yes.
Can I have a motion to elect Aubrey Riker Eline to the president of?
So moved.
Second. Speed round.
Dr. Redling?
Yes.
Committeeman Lavender?
Yes.
Committeewoman Riker Eline?
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Pasurchia?
Yes.
Mayor Dorsey?
Yes, but you left somebody out.
Assessor Sherman?
Went out of line.
Yes.
Okay, so now we'll do the oath of office for Aubrey.
Oh.
For President of the Board of Health. Do you, Aubrey Riker Aline, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of New Jersey, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people, and that you will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the Long Hill Township President of the Board of Health according to the best of your abilities, and that you will not use your office to grant preferential treatment nor seek personal favor, gain, or advantage not available to the general public, so help you God.
I do.
Thank you.
You did great, Meg.
Congratulations.
Thank you. The bar is set really low.
It's hard for Megan having to deal with some of the people on this dais.
All right, so now it's my turn, right? All right, so this is my first time doing this, so
It's okay, I set the bar super.
I need one of those student driver stickers that are on the back. Okay, so now it's the appointment of the Board of Health attorney for 2025, correct?
Yeah, I move that we appoint John R. Pigeon of Pigeon and Pigeon to be appointed to the Township of Long Hill Board of Health as the attorney for 2025.
So moved. Second.
Assessor Sherman.
Yes.
Dr. Redling.
Yes.
Committeeman Lavender.
Yes.
Committeewoman Riker Aline.
Yes.
Committeeman Berleza.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Paserchia.
Yes.
Mayor Dorsey.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks.
You're welcome. So next is the approval of minutes from January 24th, 2024, the approval and release of the minutes. Can I
Aye.
have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Can I second? Second?
Second.
Okay. Megan, can you take roll call, please? Did I miss
Assessor
anything?
Sherman.
Yes.
Dr. Redling. Yes. Committeeman Lavender.
Yes.
Committeewoman Riker Aline.
Yes.
Committeeman Berleza.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Paserchia.
Yes.
Mayor Dorsey.
Yes.
Thank you. Now, resolutions. Megan, just let me know if I'm messing up here. Resolutions for the Board of Health 25-001, authorizing entering into a professional services agreement with community visiting nurses.
I move that we approve that resolution as written.
Second.
Can we do roll
Assessor
call, please?
Sherman.
Yes.
Dr. Redling.
Yes.
Committeeman Lavender.
Yes.
Committeewoman Riker Aline.
Yes.
Committeeman Berleza.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Paserchia.
Yes.
Mayor Dorsey.
Yes.
Then our discussion items. First is the fee schedule. So then Margaret and Tricia from Bernard's Health Department put together the proposed fee recommendations for food and environmental food services. Correct? Any discussion from the committee? Are you guys comfortable with the recommendations?
Yeah, I have questions. I'm just going through it here. It looks like some current charges don't show up in the proposed column.
I think the ones that are not in the proposed columns, they're saying stay the same.
They stay the same. Okay,
Correct.
that's helpful.
And these were aligned, looking at current market and looking at comparable towns.
So you need a motion?
So with this, our fee schedule is in our code. So we would technically have to do an ordinance to change these. Now, might I make a suggestion that we
Set
do an
them-
ordinance to say that the fee schedule will be set by resolution?
Like we do the other, like we do the
others.
township fees.
Yes.
Do we need a motion for that?
Well, I think we need to introduce an ordinance. But
Right,
can we
I
do it
will-
by title only
This is first
to
reading,
change
right?
it? Because we'll have to have 2 meetings.
Yes.
That's
So
for
we,
the town, not
we-
the Board of Health.
this is Board of Health
Oh, okay.
ordinance. So we could introduce it by title tonight. The title will be amending, hang on, I'll tell you in a minute.
schedule
Well,
of Board of...
two,
Board-
if we introduce it
It's-
tonight.
It's an ordinance amending Chapter BH 12 of the Board of Health Code entitled Schedule of Board of Health Fees, and in particular BH 12-1, Schedule of Fees for Board of Health Functions, to change it so that the fees will be set by resolution of the Board of Health, and we'll have adoption at the next meeting
At the
after.
February 12th
After
Township
Megan,
Committee meeting, we'll take a brief recess
For
to
the
have
Board of
another
Health
Board
meeting.
of Health meeting, to have second reading, public hearing, and hopefully adoption to do this by resolution.
So I can make a motion to
To
propose
introduce
introduction of the
Ordinance
ordinance.
2501 as said by Attorney Kidder.
Okay, so
And that
I'll
would
make a
set the
motion,
fees by a
2501,
resolution.
to set the fee schedule as proposed by Jack Pigeon, first reading.
And I'll second that.
Assessor Sherman?
Yes.
Dr. Redling?
Yes.
Committeeman Lavender?
Yes.
Committeewoman Riker Aline?
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Paserchia?
Yes.
Mayor Dorsey?
Yes.
Okay, so like I said, second reading and adoption with the public hearing is set for February 12th.
Do we open up? Yep. So now we're going to open it up for public comment. Anyone? All right. Anybody on Zoom?
If anybody on Zoom would like to make a public comment, please raise your hand now. I don't see anyone.
Okay. I was just going to make the call out. I actually met with Dawn Marling, the health officer of Bernards Township, who is our key liaison, I believe, as we go forth in this. I met with her actually yesterday to better understand what is offered from the Bernards Health Department and how it can impact our community. So that was a very good meeting to figure out better ways to collaborate with the resources that they have, and how do we better communicate that to the community here at Long Hill, and better understanding also the makeup of our community here to be able to better serve from a health perspective. So that was some of the topics that we discussed. The best way to get that out to everyone, and I will continue to work hard to help get the communication out to the team and the community here, as well as helping to keep Long Hill and its residents healthy. So we're going to work on that and open to suggestions as we go. But I think there's a lot of resources that can be that are being brought to the community, and we can even expand that based on the plans that Dawn has from the health department.
Madam President, I always wanted to say that.
Wow. Is that me?
Yes, you. I had the opportunity to meet with Shane Daly at the first aid dinner,
Oh, great.
and she and I had a long conversation. As you know, as Randy's aware, Shane's our social services department head, and she would like to enter into dialogue with us as well to
Great.
kind of be able to provide a conduit from the Board of Health Services as they come from our partnerships, and how do we get that information to our residents, particularly on the elderly side. And Dr. Redling, you and I had a short conversation as well. I think that's something that this year we need to do.
Yep.
We want to strive a little bit higher
Yep.
to get that information out.
Absolutely, and we were talking about different things that can impact the community. Dawn has been in the role about 6 months, and there are some things planned in terms of better communication and better ways to sign up for newsletters or text messages, and maybe you want them just for Long Hill, or maybe you want them for the whole county, or whatever that is. That will hopefully be something that's rolled out soon that can hopefully help get a lot of those resources out to the community. But we'll continue to work hard to do that.
And Randy, as now that we have this new website, maybe we could figure out a way to get that channel of information there as well,
Yes.
so that we've got,
Absolutely.
we do a better job of connecting the dots in
Yep.
town to the Board of Health.
Absolutely. And actually, we talked about the website opportunities there, too. So, yep. That's it. Okay, so motion to adjourn the
So moved.
Board of Health.
So moved.
Second, yeah. And we'll return to the Township Committee meeting then. All in favor?
Aye.
Lovely, thank you.
Thank you.
Madam President.
Thank you.
All right, so we're back on the Township Committee. Thank you,
Thank
and
you.
thanks, Dr. Redling.
Thank you, Dr. Redmond.
Thank you.
Okay, so next we have Lisa Scanlon from the Rec Department to make a presentation on behalf of the town rec department and the entire township. So Lisa, the mic is yours. But please use the mic so people on TV can hear.
Thank you. I appreciate you giving me some time during your meeting tonight. Tonight we get the opportunity to celebrate two really extraordinary residents whose dedication, commitment, and passion for recreation have made a lasting impact on municipal recreation programs here in Long Hill. The Mary Toms Award is given to a recipient or recipients by the Recreation Advisory Committee to someone who has gone above and beyond by volunteering their time for township recreation programs. The award was created to honor Mary Toms, who was one of the hardest working members to ever serve on the town's recreation committee. At 90 years old, she was still volunteering her time helping with Sterling Lake dances, egg hunts, and Halloween parades, all with the goal of always trying to provide and improve recreation programs for residents of all ages in our township. We are proud this year to announce our recipients of the Mary Toms Award are Tracy Aranio and Beth Smargiassi. We are very sorry to see both of these ladies retiring from the Recreation Advisory Committee this past year, having served 17 and 16 years each respectively on the committee. During their time on the Recreation Advisory Committee, these very talented and energetic neighbors brought so much creativity and fun to our recreation events. Each year they helped to improve on the events and make them run more smoothly. And as anyone in recreation knows, events usually involve entire families coming to help. We need lots of hands to make our events run. Both Tracy and Beth pulled their families to help in several times along the way. Their efforts have shaped countless programs, bringing the community together while always providing the constant reminder that township recreation programs need to provide for the health and joy of all residents of all ages. With recreation program, I love being able to attract teachers to positions. I always find that they bring such a bag of tricks with them. They know how to get things done. Their creativeness knows no boundaries. They know how to speak to both children and parents on different levels. It's no surprise that both Tracy and Beth are teachers in their professional lives. I often reference the sitcom Parks and Recreation. The program featured the local government offices of Pawnee, Indiana. Recreation events and the obstacles they faced often seem so far-fetched. That's only until you start working in recreation, though. When you start working in recreation, you can draw a lot of parallels to the program. And that's why I keep my hair blonde, so I can still be Leslie Knope up here. All of it makes for a lot of fun and laughs, and it is my hope that Tracy and Beth both remember the fun and the laughs more than the hard work. We all know in Parks and Recreation, we need to be light on our feet and ready to make adjustments when an event is running. I don't know if you both remember, but one year we were doing the egg hunt out here, which is one of our largest events. And each year we would always go and get the biggest chocolate bunnies to present. One year we lost sight of the fact that for about 10 minutes, those giant, very thin shelled chocolate bunnies had a ray of sunshine coming down through the through the cellophane, which took our bunnies in a matter of 2 minutes, I think, and kind of disfigured them. So we had to bob and weave there. Somehow bunnies didn't look like the bunnies anymore. We had all those late nights of stuffing eggs into the wee hours of the morning, and who ever would have imagined that now pre-stuffed eggs would become a thing? And who knew a whibbit wasn't a noise that a frog made, but rather an inflatable obstacle course providing some of the most fun a kid, or for that matter, an adult acting like a kid, could ever have. Amidst all of this fun, we tackled some tough issues, and we did a lot of work to create policies and procedures for the parks and the facilities, instituted policies and requirements for volunteer youth coaches, inclusive of background checks. We worked with other committees to establish our own needs assessment for recreation in the town and to be incorporated into the master plan. We updated all 3 playgrounds and added an additional playground at the Long Hill baseball softball fields. We installed a turf field at Cantor Park, added several field lighting projects, and much, much more, adding to the infrastructure in the town. Prior to my arrival as Director of Parks and Recreation, both Tracy and Beth were invaluable to this community in keeping recreation events running while the department went through a lot of transition. When starting in my new role here 14 years ago, I leaned heavily on both Tracy and Beth to guide me in the establishment of objectives and goals for the department. The history and insight they provided was invaluable. Their passion and dedication to recreation for this community was and continues to be inspiring and infectious. Providing guidance and listening to the members of the community, they helped our department offer programming to meet the needs of our community. Now, I think they both know that I still have their cell phone numbers saved, and I will not hesitate to contact them in the future with questions or to run something past them. As I've noted, these 2 recipients of this award are very talented beyond compare. I know how much they both revered the work of Mary Toms as well in the community, and how much receiving this award named in her honor means to both Tracy and Beth. We have several members from our Recreation Advisory Committee here in the audience tonight, both past and present. We also have their families here joining them, including Tracy's own son, whose birthday it is tonight. So I appreciate him sharing the spotlight a little bit with Mom. And I'd like to invite them all up to accept their award, the Mary Toms Award. Could we get a picture with, come on, all RAC members up here? Let's go. Come on. Chuck, Nancy, Marlena.
Doing well. How are you?
Oh, Gretchen, where's
Melissa?
Gretchen?
I know.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so
Appreciate it.
much.
Thank you. Thank you again for letting me do that. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Lisa.
I know. Thank you. Like
Birthday, Gerard.
the world's a better place because there's volunteers in it. So thank you guys for volunteering. It doesn't go unnoticed, and it's an asset to the community. We always need more people like you. And so just to echo what Lisa said, thank you very much for your service. It doesn't go unnoticed. So thank you guys.
All right, next order of business, we have a much-awaited update from Kyle Mithassel from New Jersey American Water. Kyle was here, November last time?
Yes.
Thank you, Kyle. The floor is yours. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Mayor and committee members. So I'll try and hit the highlights here. We've made a lot of progress over the last few months since I was here last, so we'll start with the treatment plant itself. So in the last few months since we last met, we have completed the rehabilitation of the influent pump station, which included replacing all of the pumps, some interior work within the facility, some of the platforms, some davit crane, concrete work, things like that. So fortunate that is now complete. We are just doing some additional closeout items, but we've since wrapped that up. Also very happy to share that we have completed the filter replacement project. That was one of our largest projects that we initiated at the start of us really rehabilitating the plant. We replaced 4 existing sand filters with 3 new disc filters. The old filters had a capacity of about 500,000 gallons each, ballpark about 2 million gallons total. The new filters each can filter between 1.5 and 2 million gallons. So now there's 3 of those. So that's helped out quite a bit, given some more resiliency, ability to treat more water as it flows through the wastewater plant. Additionally, replaced a lot of additional pumps, piping, valves, our return activated sludge, waste activated sludge, associated controls, valving, piping. That is all in place, functional, and online. We will be moving into some more automation of that equipment in the future, but for now it is functional and working quite well. Also, within the filter building itself, we rehabilitated that building. We did some work on the roof. We cleaned the inside, removed some extra old extraneous parts, materials, things like that, recoated the inside of the building, and it really looks quite different. It's much more sanitary, clean, really made a big difference there with the final touches. The only thing we are waiting on is the platforms within that building. They are in the final design and fabrication stages, and then some lighting will be installed on top of that. That would close out the filter building. Jumping outside of the plant to some of our pump stations, the Morristown pump station, that work is substantially complete. Pumps are online, generators online. We do have some closeout items there, some external restoration items, sprucing the place up. Hopefully we see that come to fruition in the spring with some, topsoil seed, things of that nature. But overall, that was a pretty major overhaul of that entire facility. So we are working through closing that project out with our contractor. Very similar situation at the Clover Hill pump station, almost identical. Things are wrapped up there, generators online, new pumps, new controls, new electric, building upgrades, and again, just some closeout items on that, but everything is functional and online. Late last year, we finished up the design of our sludge odor control system. So that design was completed. Parts were ordered. Fortunately, in December, before we got the cold weather, we were able to get some concrete work done. So that project is underway. We are waiting on some of the parts and materials to arrive. Once that comes, they'll be installed, and we expect that project to wrap up in the next few months. The clarifier rehabilitation. So we're doing 2 things there. We're installing a walkway, kind of like a catwalk, around the outside of both of the clarifiers. That design was completed late last year. 90+% of the material came in last year, and we had it installed. The only remaining item is the railing that goes around that platform. So that is on order. We're just waiting for that to arrive, and that will be installed to close that portion out. We're also replacing a lot of the mechanical parts for those clarifiers. They were failing in poor condition. We actually drained those tanks down and found parts were missing. Bolts had fallen off. Things were dragging on the bottom. So we were able to purchase and order really a wholesale replacement of a lot of the components. So we did receive a lot of the ancillary parts late last year, again in December. We are waiting on the drives to come in, and this spring we'll be putting that project out to bid and then performing that work in summer. And that will really improve the efficiency, the functionality, and the lifetime for that asset. We are also in the process of doing a complete rehabilitation of the oxidation ditches for the aeration of the plant. So there's 2 ditches. We are in the process now of doing the design for both ditch 1 and ditch 2. We will be doing the construction. We're starting the construction for ditch 1 late this year. We're looking to do some early procurement on materials early this year, with construction in the fall to late in the year time frame. As soon as that wraps up, we already have it planned to move on to the next ditch, ditch 2, and that would be taking place in 2026. And then at that point, both those ditches will be completely renovated and upgraded. We are also adding a water reuse system to the headworks of the plant, so that will give us the ability to reuse plant water that we have partially treated to actually backwash and clean some of the equipment, preventing us from using potable water and really wasting that treated water when it's not needed. So a few benefits there. It's going to help us with some pressure, help us with some cleaning. Also, a great environmental project that limits the use of potable water. Again, stepping outside of the plant to the cleaning and lining projects that are ongoing at this time. We had 3 initial phases or priorities for cleaning and lining. They are in very wet areas that are really likely the prime sources of, or some of the prime sources for I&I. Those phases, 1, 2, and 3, are all ongoing as we speak. There's about 15,000 feet of pipe that we are cleaning, televising, inspecting, and then lining. The first 3 phases are mostly cleared, mostly televised, and the majority of the lining material has already been ordered. We expect to actually be out there early February starting the lining process. That should take 1 to 2 months, and we will have all 3 of those priorities lined, which we anticipate to make a big difference with the inflow into the system. We are also looking to continue that program, not only later this year, but in the future. But later this year, we're looking to do an additional 10,000 feet of lining. So we are moving on to priorities 4, 5, 6, 7, and we continue to progress as we can from there in the future. All with the goal of driving down that I&I that we saw during the wet weather events. The last update I want to provide is for the expansion of the system and the sewer ban that's currently in place. So the design for the system expansion is ongoing. It's starting to really progress well. We're making some very good headway there. Designs are well underway, and we expect to have the first designs being completed in the next few months. As soon as those designs are complete, we will then be working with the town working group to evaluate those designs, make sure we are all in agreement and alignment on how to proceed, and then we will be moving forward with construction. So we have project managers lined up, we have a budget set aside, and we will be hitting the ground running with that expansion work all throughout the town, and we'll be able to provide a little more information on the sequencing, the locations, and the timing as those designs wrap up in the coming months, and we begin to file for those permits and go out to bid. The other component to that is the update to the Water Quality Management Plan chapter. That is in development. That is something that's created by the county. We are working with the county and the DEP to get that done. Part of that, and one of the most crucial parts of that, is expanding our sewer service area, the SSA, or our territory that we can serve. That has to be approved by the DEP. So the DEP is working with our engineer and ourselves to modify that mapping to really fine-tune that and understand what that new sewer service area will look like. The county is working concurrently to develop that chapter, and once that chapter is complete, then we will close that out and move forward, and then we can expand outside of our current sewer service area and begin to expand that way. And the last piece of that is the sanitary sewer expansion ban that's currently in place. So we are on track. We are targeting for the October date to lift that sewer ban within the system. So we're really looking forward to that. A lot of the projects that I've kind of hit on at the plant, they were all crucial to get to that point, to make sure that we could treat that added flow. And then, hand in hand with that is the cleaning and lining. That is why we're so aggressively cleaning and lining this year, moving into the future to make sure that we maintain that capacity. So those are all playing a major part in that. With the cleaning and lining wrapping up, the first few phases in the next few months, that'll give us the ability to really monitor, judge the system, and ensure that we did address the worst sources of I&I. Again, all leading to lifting of that sewer ban. So, happy on the progress that we've made. We are on a great track. Proud to report what we've done so far. Still some more ground to cover, but we are on a good path and a good track for that October date.
Can I ask you a question?
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
If you don't
Go
mind.
ahead. No, go ahead.
So that expansion project that you talked about, and you said work in several parts of town. Is that in the critical path for lifting the ban? Or is that beyond
No,
lifting the ban?
I'm sorry, for the what ban?
So you said an October timeframe for lifting the sewer ban?
Correct.
And a little bit earlier, you talked about the expansion project, how that's being put out to bid, and there'll be
Sure.
construction. Is that in the critical path for lifting the ban?
No, the ban can be lifted independently.
Yeah.
We may still be putting infrastructure in the ground, but the ban will be lifted, and then as we get
Okay.
areas
And
yeah.
and then that project itself, you said construction in various parts of town. Give a flavor for what that looks like.
We're starting to get a pretty good picture of that.
Is that like pump stations and stuff like that?
Yes, we're looking at potentially 2 pump stations. Those are really the bigger assets. Most of the rest will be either gravity sewer main or low pressure force mains.
Is that extension into neighborhoods that currently have like septic and stuff like that, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Some
got
of it is, absolutely, yep.
All right, so this is, that whole thing about expansion is getting people off of septic and onto the system?
Absolutely, yes.
And when would what would the time frame for that going live be?
It's
Undetermined?
going to depend on the specific areas
Yeah.
and kind of the progress that we make with some of the areas that we need to install the pump stations. But several of those will be ongoing this year and will be likely installed by the end of this year.
Okay, so that's like within a generous 2-year time frame. You would
Yeah,
say?
we'll be working with not only the working group, but have more information, more timeline that we can share. It's a little difficult to say until we finalize the areas, the plan, the layouts, and the sequencing, because there is other things that we want to work around, paving schedules, community events, other utilities working in areas. We need to coordinate that, but yes, those projects will be ongoing, starting middle of this year and then continuing until they're complete.
Okay, and then as far as meeting that October timeline for lifting the ban, there's all kinds of mop-up work that you're doing right now in terms of mechanical stuff, little construction projects, relining, some administrative approvals, I would assume.
Yeah, we're working through all those things. Yeah, the biggest thing is really just wrapping up a lot of the projects that I just walked through, as well as the cleaning and lining.
And
making sure that's complete.
How would you quantify any level of risk to that timeline in terms of, unknown events or uncertainties and stuff like that? Highly confident or working?
I mean, we're confident everything that we've done at the plant, as well as the cleaning and lining, has really helped us and improved our ability to treat and handle that additional flow. The flows have been very favorable recently, and we expect that to continue, barring anything that we can't control. But things are all heading in the right direction, and we are tracking that October date.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Very good.
Yeah, if you don't mind, Mr. Mayor. Kyle, thank you. That was a very, very thorough update, and it also sounded very expensive. Is there a way to, I know you're familiar with it, the numbers that have already been expended
Sure.
for, and say for the completion of that October date, do you have a rough idea of the cost?
I'd have to go back. I can't say definitively. I do know that the lining alone this year is in the millions. The money that we've set aside for the expansion is, I believe it's 5 to 6 million for that component alone. The filter project was millions. I know we just did the walkway. I believe, again, that was 300, 400,000. The odor control will be in the magnitude of 800,000. Pump stations, I'd have to check, but I think they were upwards of 7 figures. So, again, the investment is substantial. I think that
I was
that's
just
a
going
good
to
word.
say, substantial is probably the word we're looking for, and
Yeah.
you beat me to it.
Yeah, and that's we understand that that's what's needed. Once we came in, we identified these deficiencies. A lot of the projects that were in place prior to us coming in and on board and starting, they had maybe some scope. As we progressed, I'll say that we identified a lot of additional scope that we had to handle. So some of it was unanticipated. Nonetheless, we are here to do what we need to do, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is the proper forum for that to speak to. One thing, when the town went out to referendum all those years ago, this conversation started, I think, back in 2013. One thing that we had been advised, and it has come through exactly on schedule, is that the DEP regulations were going to get stricter. And towns that continue to own their wastewater system are finding out that what they thought might be their cost structure going forward is substantially higher.
Yeah, and the regulations do continuously become more challenging, so we are aware of that. We have a good relationship with the DEP. We just met with them recently as we moved through our permit update. So we're very glad for that and appreciate their support with everything. But again, they do become more strict and very rarely or never become less strict.
They're from an elected body. More strict to me means more expensive. And so
that's how it goes.
I'm glad you're the owner.
Yeah. Lucky us.
No, that's it, Mayor.
Nope.
Vic,
You had answered it.
questions?
I'm good.
So just to confirm, first of all, thank you. I didn't understand half what you said, but it sounded important. But just to clarify, there's the SOAR expansion. You said the SOAR ban will be lifted. You're pretty confident it'll be lifted by the deadline it's supposed to be?
Yes, that's our target. That's what we are on track for. What we're doing, and I'd love to say that we'd be able to do it early and we could do it next week. I can't guarantee that, but we are tracking that October date. And if there is an opportunity to improve on that, we would not hesitate to improve on that. But I just, with the unknowns, I just can't make that
Well,
commitment.
to be fair, I mean, you would like to improve on that because the sooner you can, the sooner you have paying customers. So I'm sure you're not going to slow walk this.
Well, for us, yeah, it's more about meeting the commitment. The expansion. That's really what it means to me. But we are working towards it. Yep.
Thank you. You obviously will have you back in the early spring to come back, give us a update in about 3 months. That's all right with you?
Absolutely, yeah.
Perfect.
And I think we'll have some more detail that we can provide as well with sequencing, timing, locations, mapping, things like
Great.
that. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate your time. We'll see you in a few months.
You got
Thank you,
it.
Kyle.
All right.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
All right, we have one more presentation. We invited a local resident, from one of the younger families in town in the growing Muslim community, Omar Beg, to come on up. I believe Omar wants to talk to us briefly about Islamic Heritage Month. And Omar is a volunteer on the rescue squad, so thank you for your service, Omar.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good evening, esteemed council members, residents, and honored guests. I would like to start saying Assalamu alaikum, which means peace, mercy, and blessings of God upon you. Today we gather to celebrate a significant milestone in our state history, the official designation of January as Muslim Heritage Month in New Jersey. This recognition honors the rich cultural tapestry and invaluable contributions of the Muslim community to our state and nation. On April 29th, 2023, Governor Phil Murphy signed a proclamation designating January as Muslim Heritage Month. This initiative aims to promote appreciation and awareness of Muslim traditions and contributions. Communities across the state have embraced this designation, and with municipalities such as Bayonne, Cranberry, Montclair, and Moorestown, roughly about 40 towns and 4 counties have signed the proclamation, and neighboring towns as well, to celebrate Muslim Heritage Month. Contributions are Muslim across various fields. So we have science and technology, education, healthcare, business and entrepreneurship, public services. A little bit of background on New Jersey's demographics, community impact. So New Jersey is home to a vibrant Muslim population according to U.S. religion census. There are approximately 321,652 Muslims adherent in the state of New Jersey as of 2020, accounting to about roughly 3.5% of population. This makes New Jersey one of the states with the highest concentration of Muslims in the nation. In healthcare, a significant number of Muslim doctors and healthcare professionals serves in hospital and clinics, providing essential services and diverse communities. while exact statistics on the number of Muslim doctors, we can't have that, in New Jersey are not readily available, the impact of their contribution is widely recognized. Muslim-owned businesses are integral to our economy, offering a variety of goods and services that cater to the needs of all residents. These enterprises are not only they not only stimulate economic growth, but also promote cultural exchange and understanding. Me working as an EMT as well, I serve as a liaison between the community. In public service, notable figures, we have Sadaf Jafar, who became the first female Muslim New Jersey mayor in the United States when she was elected in Montgomery, New Jersey, exemplifying an active participation of Muslims in governance and community leadership. The significance, recognizing January as Muslim Heritage Month provides an opportunity to celebrate diversity, promote unity, educate and inspire, and interfaith harmony. In the spirit of unity, let us reflect on the wisdom of Mahatma Gandhi, who said, "Our ability to reach unity in diversity will be the beauty and the test of our civilization." This reminds us that embracing our differences makes us stronger as a community. As we observe Muslim Heritage Month, let us commit to celebrating the diversity that defines us and to recognizing the invaluable contributions of the Muslim community. Together, we can build a more inclusive, understanding, and harmonious society. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Omar, for
Thank you,
offering to
Omar.
come in to speak to us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for volunteering with the rescue squad as well.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Appreciate your
I was
time,
gonna-
everyone.
Can I add a couple? Omar, thank you. I just want to echo that you're volunteering on the first aid squad, and again, thank you for taking the time. I have a question, and you may have said this. January, is there significance to January versus another month?
It was decided, I think, by Muslim Heritage Month,
Okay.
and it was produced in front of different townships, states, and they approved it. I think when Governor Murphy, he signed it, he signified that as, and I think it goes to maybe MLK. So that's why it's important.
Coming too, right?
Yeah, so Ramadan is coming up in March, and I would like to also thank you for allowing us to have a religious display
Oh, absolutely.
position.
Mm-hmm.
So that really means a lot.
Please consult with that however you need. I think there's a no-fee permit where you just have to identify the specifications.
Yes.
Which is what just happened with the menorah and the nativity set. So
Correct.
please, Megan
Yes.
is wonderful.
Thank you.
Despite a couple of fumbles.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
So just please let us know any way we can help.
I will.
And I
And if
appreciate.
you would like us to attend, sorry.
No, go.
We would be honored to attend.
Yes, so we are having Muslim Heritage Month in ISBR in Basking Ridge on 25th.
That's Dr. Chaudhry's,
Dr. Chaudhry, yes.
He's a good
So
guy.
more than welcome to join, please. There's going to be food, festivities, and cross-cultural exchange. So doors are open for everyone.
thanks, Omar.
Thank you.
Thank you,
If you see
Omar.
opportunities for ways we can collaborate more, like please let us know.
Absolutely.
And we appreciate you coming tonight and giving us this information. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And at this point, I also want to thank New Jersey Office of Homeland Security and Preparedness. Their Interfaith Advisory Council has helped me and other, like me, to collaborate. So they're rabbis, they're fathers, they're pastors, they're, the Hindu community, Muslim community, they're all together over there discussing issues and how to resolve them.
Good to hear.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Omar.
Thanks,
Great
Omar.
job.
Thank you, Omar.
Appreciate it. Okay, let's put the microphone back on. Now we're back into the less exciting business. All right, so move on to ordinance 558-25. It's a first reading introduction, removing the municipal housing liaison from the list of duties of the planning and zoning coordinator and amending chapter 2 of the township code entitled administration. Jack, you just give us a brief summary of that?
Yeah, sure, Mayor. The recent changes to the state law have made the duties of the housing liaison to be more complicated and require more training. We already have an ordinance that established the position, but in the ordinance establishing the position of the planning and zoning coordinator, we listed one of her duties as being the municipal housing liaison. So it's the intention of the township committee to name the township administrator to that position. So we just need to take it out of the list of duties of the zoning and planning and zoning coordinator.
Anybody have any questions for Jack on that? So it's more of an administrative thing,
Yes.
correct? Okay. So can I have a motion to introduce and pass ordinance 55-25 on the first reading? Madam Clerk?
Committeeman Lavender,
Yes.
Committeewoman Riker Align.
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Paserchia.
Yes.
Mayor Dorsey.
Yes. All right, moving along. Ordinance 557-25, second reading. We have read this the first time at the reorg meeting. It's an ordinance adding an additional lieutenant position to the police organizational chart and amending Chapter 2 of the Township Code under administration. Again, this is just creating a position if we ever want to do it. It does not. We're not promoting anybody today. That's a whole separate issue. So all this is doing is creating the position if and when we want to fill it. I now open the meeting up to the public for any questions or comments. Yes, Mr. Aronowitz.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. Charles Aronowitz, Millington. Regarding this proposed ordinance, 557-25, adding an additional lieutenant, I would have liked to have read an ordinance hiring a chief of police or moving the police headquarters out of a floodplain tonight. We have been without a police chief for over 2 years and 2 months, with free opportunities of mentoring police chief candidates by Chief Russo of the New Jersey State Police Association, and having had a mentoring director of public safety for over 10 months. Where has this mentoring process gone? You don't need to answer that. 11 years ago, the Long Hill Township Police Department eliminated the position of captain. We do not need the recreation of a potential captain position. We certainly do not need a potential third lieutenant position. Please defer a vote on the ordinance. Focus on the real needs of the police department. I repeat, real needs of the police department. 1, let's get a police chief after 2 years and 2 months and offering a free mentoring. 2, not only for the police department, for the residents of this town, a new police headquarters. What 2 things could be more important to this town? I'll tell you, it stands clearly ahead of allocating a potential position for a third lieutenant. Please defer a vote on this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else in the public have any questions or comments? Seeing none. Madam Clerk, anybody online?
Anybody on Zoom would like to make a public comment regarding ordinance 557-25, please raise your hand now. I don't see anyone, Mayor.
Thank you. I'm going to close the public hearing. Can I have a motion to approve 557?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to motion to approve ordinance 557-25 on second reading.
So moved.
Madam Clerk.
Committeeman Lavender,
Yes.
Committeewoman Riker Align,
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Paserchia.
Yes.
Mayor Dorsey.
Yes. All right, moving on to consent agenda. I believe, Scott, was there something you wanted to discuss on this?
Yeah, 25-046.
Okay, that's about the 4th round affordable housing. Do you want Jack to discuss, or do you want to talk?
Well, I'll make a comment.
ahead.
I'll hand it over to Jack. I was at the planning board meeting last week, and Jessica Caldwell came in and kind of explained to the public and to the planning board, how this process is working, how we got to the number we got to. If you haven't already, I'd recommend that you go out and the public go out and watch the video if they're interested in a very detailed discussion on that. I thought she was very good. Jack, I'll hand it over to you. Do you want to kind of gloss through?
Sure. Last year, the state legislature adopted amendments to the Fair Housing Act that did a number of things. One, it abolished COA and created a new program, they call it, to deal with everything. And they mandated that the Department of Community Affairs establish numbers for every municipality in the state with respect to their affordable housing obligations. That's not a binding number. You can challenge it. However, after discussing it, the Township Committee felt that the number assigned to Long Hill Township of 102 affordable units was in fact reasonable, and it wasn't worth trying to litigate that number. I do point out that that number will be reduced by a number of things, including some units from Lounsbury. We're not sure of the exact number. We've already got 3 group homes in town, which will provide us with, I believe, 12 units. And there will also be rental bonuses and other things like that that will reduce the number significantly. But in any event, the legislature established a really tight schedule for complying with this new law. The first was that the DCA had to come up with the numbers for every town in the state. The next deadline is this Friday, or no, I'm sorry, next January 31st. But in any event, we had to adopt this resolution accepting the DCA numbers by January 31st. And then I've got 48 hours in which to file a declaratory judgment action with the court, which will set us into the process. Once that's filed, and I'll file no later than Friday, any interested party has until February 28th to challenge the town's number. Then if there's nothing for that, then we've got to, by June 30th, adopt a new housing element fair share plan. The Township Committee has already appointed an Affordable Housing Committee, which is working on sites and other ways to deal with this obligation. If, in fact, then interested parties will also, by August 31st, have the right to challenge the Township's housing element fair share plan. And then by March 15th of 2026, that's the deadline for adopting, implementing ordinances, zoning ordinances, carrying out the housing element and fair share plan. I did make one minor change to the resolution, which I've sent to Megan, and that is in the last paragraph. I just expanded it to include the township planner and other township officials to take all steps necessary to carry out this process. So that will be the revised resolution that you're considering this evening. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Jack, did you mention the number?
102 is the number.
102, not 103.
You were
right. There you go. No, I wasn't doing that to put you on the spot, but
No,
it is 102. And I just want to call attention to that. One of the reasons why, if you, for the public, if you look at the obligations of surrounding towns, one of the reasons why Long Hill's number is significantly lower than those towns is Long Hill Township, going back right from the beginning, Jack.
That's right.
Has always worked in collaboration with what was then COA, then became Fair Share, and now is under the auspices of the DCA. One of the reasons, not the only reason, there's other, geographical things that come into play. But our numbers are lower. To Jack's point, we're pretty confident that that 102 number will be perhaps halved. I don't know if that's optimistic, but so we're in a good position, certainly relative to surrounding towns and towns from throughout the state. And Jack's been working on this going back all those years, so special thanks to Jack.
Well, thanks.
Yeah,
Jack,
and I would also say,
one.
I would also say, again, go back, if you're interested, go back and watch that video. Listen to Jessica Caldwell. She'll explain to you what the formula was this time around, and it was the same formula for every municipality. She'll also mention documents and resources on the web where you can see how we fared compared to other towns. Recommend that everybody go out and look at that as well. and become fully educated if this is an issue that you're passionate about.
Thank you, Scott. Yeah.
And along those lines, I remember there was a new lawsuit that was filed a few months ago that some residents want us to join in on. And as we predicted, it went nowhere and it was dismissed by the court. And by not joining, we saved the town thousands of dollars. So
$20,000.
$20,000 they wanted from us for a lawsuit that probably was going nowhere. Unfortunately, it did not. And so the people that did join, sorry to do that, but that's what happens. But we saved $20,000 not joining that lawsuit. So does anybody else have any questions for Jack on the dais? All right. Anything else we need to discuss or pull out from the consent agenda? Thank you, Scott.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Mayor, if
Go
I
ahead.
could, to approve resolutions numbers 25-044 through 25-048.
So moved. And seconded.
Madam Clerk?
Committeeman Lavender,
Yes.
Committeewoman Riker Align.
Yes.
Committeeman Veleza,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Paserchia.
Yes.
Mayor Dorsey.
Yes.
One
Now-
one
go
more
ahead.
point, if I may, just with respect to that ordinance, it has to be posted on the township website by Friday as well. And as I say, I've got to file the declaratory judgment action with the courts by Friday.
Megan's gonna be sharper tomorrow, so she's gonna get that up there. It's not your job, okay, fair.
Thanks.
All right. Liaison reports. What do you have queued up first? That's how we'll start. Whatever's easier for you, because I know there's some slides tonight.
We can do.
Who's that for? Oh, me. I can't read that. Winter weather recycling tips. It's too far away. Can you tell them what the winter weather recycling tips? I can't read that far.
For winter weather recycling tips, put a lid on it. Wet and snow-covered recyclables are not acceptable in the MCMUA's recycling program. Moisture contaminates the recyclables so that they cannot be properly processed. The MCMUA crew will leave wet recyclables behind. The MCMUA asks residents to use a 32-gallon container with a lid to avoid moisture contaminations. Snow removal. Ice and snow can pose dangers for sanitation workers. Please be sure your recyclables are placed properly at the curb. Remove snow and ice from on and around your containers. Do not place cans on snowbanks. Timing is everything. Recycling should be placed at the curb the night before collection or by 6 a.m. the day of collection. Late setouts will not be collected. If you believe your recycling was missed, you must report this to your municipality or the MCMUA by 10 a.m. the following collection. Stay up to date. Check the MCMUA's website, your municipality's Recycle Coach app, and social media pages to stay updated on rescheduled or canceled recycle collections due to inclement weather.
Thank you. All right, next slide. That determines who's next. That's how we're doing.
How about recreation?
There you go. Vic, you're up.
Bingo. Ready?
Is that your favorite classes
Right.
today?
Still need classes. All right, we are still busy in recreation with our basketball programming, but like fashion, we're already planning for next season. We are also very excited to have completed the new playground at Cantor Park. Despite the temperatures, some brave souls have bundled up and have gone out to test out the new playground. It's a lot of fun.
Is that Lisa in that picture?
Yes.
And Bill?
And Bill.
On the swing? Nice.
Rebel.
Nice.
Rebel and no.
Oh, yeah. Cute.
On Wednesday, March 26th, from 4 to 6 p.m., we are teaming up with the Gnomes, and we're going to have some fun in the park to celebrate the new playground. We will have our official ribbon cutting ceremony. We'll play some gnome games and have a family scavenger hunt. A face painter will be joining us, and the library is joining forces with us to bring lots of gnome/woodland fairy-themed books and materials, story times, and a story walk in the park leading to the back of the playground. Mark your calendars. It is free for all Long Hill residents, and you won't believe what these gnomes are cooking up. Take advantage of all the snow. Send us your photos of the snow sculptures and enter our contest, which will run until 3/17. Free entry for all Long Hill residents. See the website for more details and enter on Community Pass. It's not too late to register for adult open play basketball. Thursday nights at Central School from 7:30 till 9 p.m. Pre-registration on Community Pass is necessary, and the program continues until May 1st. Moving on to slide number 6. Get your Red Cross training in January. CPR and AED on 1/20/25, and we still have a couple of spots open. See the website for more details and register on Community Pass. Play virtual bingo with us. On Wednesday, February 12th, we will be playing Valentine's Bingo virtually at 5:30 p.m. Free for all Long Hill residents. Register as a family, and we will send you a bingo card and login instructions. The fun continues when we play St. Patrick's Day Bingo on March 12th, virtually at 5:30 p.m. Get those new calendars out and mark down our annual egg hunt, which is scheduled for Saturday, April 12th at 10 a.m. sharp at Cantor Park. Such a fun morning. Get your picture with Peter Cottontail, visit the petting zoo, and fill your egg basket. Adult Egg Hunt will be sponsored by the Long Hill Chamber of Commerce. Don't forget to listen to that inner Oscar the Grouch inside all of us and keep our parks clean and litter free. And last but not least, we are always looking for new members on the Recreation Advisory Committee. Want to join in on the fun? Please contact the Parks and Recreation Department for more information. And that concludes my vibrant
Great work.
rec update. Thank you.
Well done, Vic. All right, Aubrey, you're sitting you're next.
Woo! All right, library update. Thank you, Megan. So the library is open 7 days per week and also open 24/7 via the digital collection. Books and audiobooks and movies are available via the following apps: Libby, Hoopla, and Canopy. It's very exciting. Here, up on the screen, is the library's weekly schedules of programs and events. One for kids and there's one for adults. Lots of activities for all ages, including story time for the littlest readers every day of the week. Library has lots of good stuff going on, so don't miss out. Join us for a presentation on the fundamentals of backyard bird watching by a naturalist from the Somerset County Park Commission Environmental Education Center. Learn basic identification skills, what to feed these birds, as well as when and where to place your feeders, all in time for the Great Backyard Bird Count coming up in February. Very exciting. The Long Hill Township Library hosts a number of free classes: line dancing, Italian and French class, chess, art classes, mahjong, and more. Come try something new and all are welcome. And then, last but not least, come celebrate the Lunar New Year with a traditional lion dance performed by the New Jersey Garden State Lion Dancers. Other New Year activities will take place in the library, including crafts and story times in English and Chinese. Very exciting. Great job for the library. Yes, I was going to just add one. Me? Are you making fun of me?
I don't know if you have the board. I don't know if you have any health reports.
I do. No, I don't have health because I reported on that when we did the Board of Health piece that I met with
Okay, we got it.
Dawn. But nope, I have something else for you. I went to earlier today. I was able to attend the Morris County Economic Development Corporation Municipal Roundtable, just to be transparent for everyone. I thought it was very interesting. There's a lot of resources that we can share and partake in that will help facilitate businesses here. The goal of that meeting was to share best practices, also identify strengths and weaknesses and different challenges and opportunities that each town has, and learn from each other, which I thought was very beneficial. I took many notes and will pass it along to Chamber of Commerce here, as well as continue to I need my tea, I'm sorry. I continue to encourage the collaboration because there are a lot of resources that I learned about from the Morris County Economic Development Organization and the Chamber of Commerce. So those things, being able to bring those to the community, I think is really important. So there's a lot of ideas that I gathered in terms of ways to collaborate and bring those resources to fortify, encourage, and help support the businesses that we have here in Long Hill. So we'll continue to keep that transparency going.
Thank you for going to that meeting.
No problem.
Appreciate it. All right, I'll just go next. I have the community service update. Just put up one, I'll talk about it. Let's see. Well, I can still, oh, there we go. So the food pantry, 12 Baskets Food Pantry is open the first and third Thursday of every month from 5 to 6. And they have special hours for seniors during the day from 11:30 to 12:30. That's located at All Saints Church in Millington. That's the stone church up by the blinking light on Long Hill Road. It's free and confidential. They provide food for Long Hill and surrounding individuals, families, seniors, and veterans. They offer non-perishable foods, produce, at times toilet paper, paper towels, cleaning supplies, things of that nature. You just have to bring a valid license or a state ID card showing your address is the only documentation you needed. There's no questions asked. It's not a trick. So just bring some kind of ID with you. Along the lines with the food pantry is, I think the can sale ended Sunday, I think, but I know this came out before then. The needs that they need right now. I know people give around the holidays, but people need more than just around Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter. Hearty soups with low salt, family-friendly cereals, pretzels, chips, crackers, vegan and gluten-free items, and anything can make a difference. And the nice thing is you can drop it off at the food barrels at All Saints Church. There's a drop-off right at the library behind us, and at ShopRite. So as you shop, you just buy what you want. I did it the other day. You drop it off in the basket right by the back door, the front door as you're going out. So you don't have to take it up there yourself. They can't make it easier for people. So please donate. It does make a difference. You buy whatever, Progresso was 10 for $12, and that made a difference. That was 10 meals for people, and it didn't really cost much. So thank you to everybody that donates and continue to donate. And spotlight on services. Meet the Veterans Services Office and the county clerk at the county clerk's office. February 7th, 2025 at 1 to 3 p.m. at the county, administrative building?
Morris County Veterans
Services Office, which is on West Hanover Avenue in Morristown. So that's the 25th, February 7th at 1 to 3 p.m. So go out if you want to meet or have any questions about the Veterans Services Office and the county clerk's office, just like Aubrey went to the meeting today. There's probably a lot of resources available that we don't know about, that if you call there, email, or go to the thing, you're going to find out. There's services available to veterans and other people in the community. And just the one last thing, thank you, Sterling Fire Department. They had a great pancake breakfast 2 weeks ago. I believe, how would you have over 170 people served? They had 170 people served, which is pretty good for their first time out. And as always, anytime they do cook something, it's usually pretty good. So we're looking forward to the next one. One more, another slide. Free blood pressure screening should be under the Aubrey report, but I'll
Right,
do
sorry,
it.
yes.
No,
It's
so-
February is Heart Month, too.
There you go. So Heart Month's coming up. There's a free blood pressure screening in P-PAC and Gladstone. This Monday at 12:30 to 1:30 at the municipal building in P-PAC Gladstone, correct? It's free for everybody, so if you want your blood pressure checked, go on out. Thank you. Guy?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So just the First Aid Squad had their annual officer induction ceremony. I think most of the Township Committee attended. Quick update, 2024, there were roughly just shy of 700 calls, which tracks what they typically do in any year. Sometimes it's a little above 700, sometimes a little bit below. Special shout out to Elsie Turkman for 50 years, 50 years volunteering with the First Aid Squad, and there were a number of other awards. Bob English, I won't embarrass him, I'll say his 10th anniversary, which is probably times 4. So really a special thanks to the First Aid Squad. They are 100% volunteer. We talk about it all the time. Even though they're not in the middle of their fund drive, they accept donations at any point throughout the year. So again, the biggest shout out goes to Elsie Turkman, and thank you to all the new officers, and thank you to the officers from 2024.
Scott?
Nothing additional to add.
Excellent, thank you. And Randy with the administrator's report.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a couple of things. November's police report, they had calls of service for November 2024 of 2,432 calls for a total year-to-date of 23,048 calls. There were 17 motor vehicle accidents, 2 with injuries. Some good news. The police did some traffic improvement on Northfield by putting out. They installed LED stop signs on each side. They also put some pedestrian signs out to help people acknowledge that there's a crosswalk there, that there's also a stop sign. As we know, this intersection has had some issues with accidents and so forth, and we are continuing to work on improving that intersection. The police have done some improvements over at the police headquarters. They have a new front door with a decal on it, and they have a new updated police refurbished patch on the building. One of the things I definitely wanted to mention, the Masons of Somerset Hills honored Sergeant Sutton for Officer of the Year at their annual dinner last year. Congratulations to Officer Sutton. That's all with the police. I want to take a quick minute to read an email that we got. And I think it sums up this past weekend that the Public Works Department were out many, many hours overnight while we were all sleeping, getting the roads cleaned and so forth. And this is email to Al Gallo. Thank you to the Department of Public Works providing the prompt and annual service and picking up Christmas trees after the holiday season is over. Thank you for keeping our roads clear during winter storms. It is always clear to me that roads in our town are in better shape than our neighboring towns. And that was from a resident in Gillette. But I just want to pass on, not only the roads, but the huge amount of sidewalks, buildings, municipal buildings and so forth. Public Works worked tirelessly from Sunday afternoon into the wee hours of Monday morning, and then came back Monday afternoon on a holiday to make sure all the roads were clean and everything was in a safe condition. So Al, hands out to the guys and the crew. Thank you very much for your work to all the not only our buildings but also the emergency services buildings that you guys clear. So job well done. Al also gave me, I should let the mayor read this, but I'm going to read it.
One of my favorite reports all year.
Okay, so I'm going to let the mayor read it.
Go ahead.
But we got some interesting numbers that I think I really need to mention. This is all the recycling items that Public Works does. They collect aluminum cans for the burn center. They collected 1 ton of aluminum cans that went to donation for the burn center. Fluorescent bulbs, they collected 1 ton. Car batteries, 1.3 tons. Non-covered electronics, 2 tons. Styrofoam, believe it or not, 6.2 tons.
Wow.
I don't believe it.
Right.
Once that's melted down, it gets heavy. So,
Crazy.
single stream recycling, 26.07 tons. Electronics, 24.5 tons. Tires, 30 cubic yards.
Wow.
K-cup recycling, 88.6 pounds. Got a lot of coffee drinkers. Grass clippings, 104 cubic yards. Leaves, 711 cubic yards. Light iron, cast iron, and aluminum, 119.55 tons. Motor oil, 122 gallons. Christmas trees, 219 Christmas trees. And this is for 2024, so that didn't include January. So last year, in 2023, we did 600 trees, so we're probably close to that, if not over that.
I believe we're over 6, right, Al? 645 so far for the season.
Wow.
And you can do picking up till the 31st, right?
Till 31st. Cooking oil, 1,677 pounds. Food compost. People ask who dumps their food waste at Public Works. 2,400 gallons worth.
Wow.
Brush trees, 4,500 cubic yards. So, again, the mayor praises our recycling, and this just goes to show you how much different things and how many people go down to Public Works and recycle. So, again, Public Works, job well done. Residents of Long Hill, job well done. Let's try and improve these numbers.
Thank you, Randy.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Excellent.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Al. Love that report. That's your report?
That's my report.
All right, so where are we next? Okay. Discussion items. First is proposed changes to section 2.35 of the code about Historic Preservation Advisory Committee. Mr. Hunt's here. Anybody have any questions?
They all seem like reasonable changes.
What are they in general, Jack? We can.
Yeah, I was at the meeting when this was first discussed. Not all of them, Fred, but summary. Some of the changes here are due to the fact that the Historical Preservation Advisory Committee is a committee and not a commission. Therefore, some of the wording has to change that would only be applicable to a commission.
Got it.
Things like, shall hold no other municipal office. Not applicable to an advisory committee. But a lot of the changes in here, relate to that. Also to, there was a removal of this reference to a historic district. Historic districts, there are no official historic districts in the township. And then, other things about design standards, which would be relevant to a commission. 4 or more of the general standards were retained as guidelines, however. And so, Fred, is there anything else that you would want to add to that?
Covered it all.
There you go. So,
Thank you for coming. Go ahead. Come to the mic so they can hear you. Thank you for coming, by the way.
Thank you. I just added one function. We've done that a little bit over the years. The fact that we collaborate with the historian and the archivist. Yeah. They come to all our meetings and we work closely with them. So
thank you.
that's it. You covered everything else.
Sitting here, Ron.
Yes.
I will have an ordinance for introduction at the next meeting.
Good.
All right, thank you. All right. Next is the proposed changes to the rec advisory about the regulations. All right, here we go. Anybody want any questions or comments on that?
Yeah, they're all highlighted. They're pretty reasonable as well.
Okay. These were discussed, I believe, probably at the rec, and Mr. Renowitz back there. Chuck, these were all discussed at the rec committee, correct?
Yes.
Thank you. That was discussed in the committee. Lisa proposed them to us. And again, we'll bring them, Jack will have a new ordinance or something for next meeting?
Yes.
Does anybody have any suggestions or questions up here? All right, seeing none?
I think one thing to note, especially with just recent events, no open flame is permitted in any park or recreation area without a fire permit. You'd think that would be common sense, but you have to spell these things out.
Good call out.
All right, so we'll have that on an upcoming meeting. And the last one is proposed commercial property maintenance code. I know Vic asked Jack about this, so Jack, I will turn it over to you.
Yes, as you said, this is at the request of Vic. This ordinance that I found seemed to cover most of the items that Vic wanted covered. And I do note that it's a lot easier to write a commercial property maintenance code in a town like Long Hill because we have so many diverse types of neighborhoods, with different size lots and everything. It's more difficult to write a residential property maintenance code. So what this does, basically, it requires that the exterior of the premises be maintained, lawns, hedges, and bushes be maintained, all signs be maintained, that glass be maintained, storefronts, any awnings that extend over the street be maintained, everything, just a general catch-all at the end, that the exterior of every structure has to be maintained. Also, that exterior boards that cover the windows and doorways of a vacant property must be painted to coordinate with the color of the building. And then the occupant has to keep the Premises in a clean and sanitary condition. Garbage is not allowed to accumulate. Every occupant is responsible for pests, controlling pests, and for the elimination of trash and garbage on the premises. So that's basically it. It's enforced by the code enforcement officer. The penalty is the standard general penalty set forth in section 1-5 of the code. And I think that covers everything. Dick?
Great. And you, I believe you've had some coordination with Mark Andrus, our zoning officer, with,
That's right. He had one minor suggestion that I made to it. Other than that, he was satisfied with the draft ordinance.
great. And then in the future, I believe that we're going to try to expand upon it and start to open up discussions with the appropriate boards so that we can maybe develop a uniform awning code here in town, so we don't just have pink, blue, and yellow, and all different styles, that they're not tattered and in disrepair. We need to start to think about that.
Love it. It's good.
So I would like to, this is like a request to move forward in that regard.
Vic also asked that we consider banning carports, parking pads on front lawns, and what was the other one?
Temporary tents,
Yeah.
parked, put up so you can park under the,
Yeah, now I did some research on that. We can discuss this at a future meeting. But we already require that every residential property have a garage. And I think the best way to deal with Vic's suggestion is that, I think it was Montville, the definition of garage specifically excludes carports. It's surprising how many towns don't have anything to do with carports or parking pads. In fact, some of them allow it. And I think we could do the same with tents, because really they are a structure. So I think we could add that into the definition of garage as well. But as I say, we can discuss that in the future.
Wonderful.
But this commercial property maintenance code is really just step one.
perfect.
All right, so we'll
Thank
have
you.
this on for a future, Guy, go ahead.
So, Jack, I know, and you already kind of referenced it, it's difficult in a residential type situation when we were talking about grass height and all those kind of things. On a commercial property, by what definition? I appreciate, Vic, thank you for bringing this to the town's attention, but what determines what is not appropriate?
Well, I think it's easier in the commercial context, because the problem with, when we tried to do the residential property maintenance code to amend it, was you've got properties in the swamp, and properties in Sterling. And it's hard to have a uniform standard for a 1/4 acre lot and a 5-acre lot.
All right, but let's
that backs
just
up-
say we have
So for the.
a mythical commercial property. It hasn't been painted in 40 years, but it's.
We have that.
I'm trying to figure out how do you issue a summons?
The code enforcement officer has to make that determination. He takes pictures, he issues a warning.
Sometimes it's a judgment call.
It's
And it's
a
detrimental
case-by-case
to
basis.
value.
And then if the property owner doesn't cooperate or the occupant doesn't cooperate, then he can issue a summons, and then he brings it before Judge Bride, who will consider it. And it's like pornography, you can tell when a property's not being maintained.
Right.
Fair enough.
It's hard to
Right, well said
to
there.
describe in an ordinance.
When you're looking at a property that's in disrepair, we're not looking to be unfair on anybody.
Right. And it's more an impetus to have people maintain their properties. The idea is not to bring them to court, it's to
Yes.
say to them, you've got to do this, and
Oh,
if you don't.
by the way, I fully support it. I'm just trying to think ahead as to.
I mean, that sexy thermoplastics here in town for the past 30 years. It'd be nice to, be able to enforce that not happening. This is one example.
Yeah, and as I say, Mark Andrus has looked at it and is okay with
Who's
it,
our
and he's the
zoning
one who has
enforcement
to enforce
Okay.
it, so.
So, Vic, thank you for bringing it, and Jack, thanks for the work.
So we'll
you
have
did
it
on
introduced at the next meeting.
Any other issues, question on this?
More to come.
All right,
More to come.
announcements. I think we covered them all except 2 new ones. Park Mobile, our new parking app for the train stations, will be live February 3rd. So if you need, you can download the app. These are for daily parking passes. You can download the app and just follow the instructions starting February 3rd. And we launched a new website, what, about week and a half ago? Yeah, the new town has a new website, and as issues come up, just like any website that comes out, there's issues or questions or stuff, please email Randy if there's a problem with it, and we'll get it corrected. Just like anything else, it might be a spelling error, simple as that, or maybe you just can't access a link. Or maybe there's a link you want on there or it's missing. Please let us know. A couple residents have already reached out, and those problems are corrected pretty much in a day or two, correct?
Correct.
So we're only as good as the information we have. We try to police everything on there, but if there's stuff that we might not click on or somebody might not click on, we're only going to know it's not working if you tell us. So you're not being a pest. We want to get it right. We want to improve it and make it as easy as possible for everybody to access information, different forms, permits, payments. So please tell us if you're having a problem. We'll get it fixed as soon as possible. And this is a good conduit. We can push out more information and make more information available to the public so you don't have to come to town hall to pay things. You can do it right online. Any other announcements?
Thank you for mentioning that, because I had some challenges with the website last night that we're working on, so open to other feedback too.
Exactly. So it even applies to Aubrey.
It does. I was on there and heartily voicing my opinion last night of areas of opportunity.
Any other announcements up here? Seeing none. All right, open mic night, 3 minutes. Anybody in the public have anything they want to say?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. Charles Arenowitz Millington. Unfortunately, I do not have the confidence in New Jersey American Water that you do. I would request that you get a timeline from them of lifting the sewer ban and sewering 95% of the township by October 25. I'd like that for the residents to get us more comfortable that these dates are going to be met. Tonight's presentation, when talked about initial drafts, we're going to get one in a few months and we're going to lay it out. It was 9 months to October. They've got to get approval with the DEP. We talked about, Mr. Pachera said the regulations have increased. It takes more time. Believe me, I don't have your confidence. So one recommendation to you is to get a detailed timeline from them so we have something to look at and say, he was back, the presenter was here in November, or I think it was November. Now it's mid-January, late January. I mean, come on. I don't have the faith that you have. So help me get your faith by requesting a timeline for the work. It's October. And I don't want to have more fees to our attorneys and Mr. Pigeon. He's done a great job. But we don't need to spend money going after a contract on the sale of this great sewer system we sold them. So please take that under advisement and get that done and requested. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chuck, if I could say, it was a great year for the Fighting Irish. I was rooting for them.
You had to go there?
Yeah.
You had to go there?
It's 9:25.
We couldn't match up, but come November 10th, it's the 250th anniversary of the United States Marine Corps, just so you know that.
Thank you.
I embrace that.
Chuck, and
Semper
thank you
Fi,
for your
Chuck.
service.
Exactly, Semper Fi. But also just because I'm new to it and learning things with the water, Chuck, just so I understand, what was articulated tonight as as the October timeline? You're saying get that like specifically in writing, and because I don't know, do we not have that or do we not?
That can speak to
That's
the
what- okay.
obligation.
We have it in writing.
Okay, that's I assume because he was speaking to it. But
I'm saying
just to
the work
understand.
plan, the high-level work plan of what checkpoints and when they're going to get it done. They come back in May, or we have nothing to say, hey, you said you were going to get here in March. It's now April. Where are we? We don't know.
Thank you. I just wanted to understand the question.
Any other members
Or
of
make
the
sure.
public? All right. Seeing none. Anybody online?
Marianne Noonan would like to speak.
Bring her on. Mary Ann, can you hear us?
Okay.
There you go.
Hello, Marianne.
Hello. Congratulations, Mayor.
Thank you, Mary Ann.
Okay, I have a couple comments.
Go ahead.
Number one, it's very general. Residential maintenance just came up as a topic from Vic. I have seen numerous planning board meetings where I'm just going to make a blatant statement where you cannot discount the amount of acreage one person has versus some of the smallest streets. I live on Lackawanna, and essentially it's very eclectic. Okay? I live on a half an acre. My house is midway. You know, you just can't make these justifications of whether or not someone has a garage or not and could put up a carport to protect their car. I get it. I don't want our town to look like a ghetto, but if you have 3 acres of land versus someone whose driveway you could see into your neighbor's side yard, take a drive down Mountain where we have a house that's basically right on the street. It's stone. So there's been so many instances with reference to residential maintenance, and no one has ever really focused, whether it's on fences or, you know, storage units. You really have to take a good look at the acreage. And I could point out a lot of things. You know, if I live in Myersville, you know, we've spoken about crime. Are they going to go up into Myersville if I have 4 acres? No. There's a big distinction in our township. And this is why I bought here 25 years ago. It was so beautiful and eclectic. Okay? So I really hope people keep in mind on the planning board and township committee, when it comes to anything in terms of residential units, you really have to look at the size of the property and the size of the home. That's my comments on that. Am I making reason with that?
Yes, I think I tried to make the same point.
Yeah, and we're only discussing the commercial right now.
Yes.
Okay, but if you want to go into residential has already been impacted.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mary Ann. I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's why I said it's much more difficult to draft a residential property maintenance code in a town like Long Hill with such a diversity of property types.
Exactly. I mean, you take a road, you know, Aubrey, you live on Mountain. You know the house I'm talking about.
Yes.
That stone house?
Yes.
Could we ever put a sidewalk there? No.
And trust me,
Eminent domain.
Matt heard me years ago about sidewalks on Mountain as I would always run to the train
That's true.
and entertain
you're
my
always
neighbors fearing for
welcome
my
to
life. So
park.
yes, sidewalks I encourage. But yes, I know it would be an issue for that house.
Yeah, but you're always welcome to park in my house. So, okay, my second issue. With reference to the 4th round. Matt, I have to correct you with regards to the coalition. It's not over. Okay, with Mayor Mike Gisali. Tomorrow, there's another round in court. And it's another stay. So, you know, I'm sorry, I need to correct you on that. January 23rd, there is another stay on that.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I did not have the time to listen to the planning board, but I do want to make mention. You have stated that we're utilizing the numbers that they provided, which is 0 versus 102. I think initially I put out to the whole group that it was 106 before anyone knew anything about it. But if you want to talk about this 0 versus 102, there's a couple issues regarding that, okay? If you look at those GIS maps, okay, they did not include the 3rd round of flood zones. And as you're aware, Morris County just came out with that information. Okay, so that needs to be discounted. You have another, it could be a double negative. I am not quite sure on this, but it's not only the flood zones. Those maps do not include any of the properties that are currently within the settlement agreements, whether constructed or not. Okay? I took a look and I tried to figure it out for myself. And those GIFs maps, you know, with the flood zones, when is that coming out, the deadline? Does anyone know here on the committee? Randy?
It just came out.
It came out, yeah.
I don't remember the end date. I'd have to, I believe that the maps are on our website with the information.
Yes, it is. Thank you. Okay, but with reference to that, that will need to be incorporated. So, you know, when we're talking about 0 versus 102, I get it. You take a multiple and you know, if you said that you're going to split it, it's going to be 50 units of affordable housing times the, you know, 5 factor, which equates to 250. And we have not built anything else as well. Okay, so, you know, 250 may not be a high number, but the fact of the matter is, where is that going? Hillcrest already has been surrounded by, oh God, what, 400 units going up? I hope one is going to be just squashed. Hillcrest is a source road going into Overlook Hospital. The back jam and the backlog is going to be ridiculous. And that's really it. I just don't know what to say anymore.
Thank you, Mary Ann.
You know, that's it.
Thank you.
Thanks,
You know-
Mary Ann.
Have a great weekend.
Yes, you.
Anybody else online? Seeing none, I'll entertain any motion to adjourn from anywhere.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, we're going to return to executive session. No further
No,
action.
I think we're done.
Oh, we're
No,
done?
we're done.
I wasn't there. Okay, we're
Yeah,
done.
no, we're done.
Perfect.
Good night.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anywhere. I'm taking it from.
All right.
Oh, sorry.